What's up, YouTube? It's your boy RussianCarl here, bringing you my Week 7 PAL Team Builder. This week we are we are making a stop in Pittsburgh to challenge the Pittsburgh Piplups and Coach Rudy. This will be my 6th match after since I had a bye week in Week 4. Yeah, Week 4 I had a bye week, so this will be my 6th match. Hoping to go hoping to after this week be 6-0. I mean, I've had a fantastic run so far. We're about halfway through the season at this point. I'm having fun. Hoping you guys are having fun too, watching my videos and everything. And without further ado, gonna give you a quick rundown of what I could possibly expect from Rudy and his team. Well, right off the bat, he's got a very heavily defensive core of Skarmory and Chansey. So for those of you, I mean, it's pretty. If anyone has been playing Pokemon, it's obvious. Skarmory has a massive base 145 physical defense stat, as well as an okay base 65 HP, making it a phenomenal physical wall, as well as its steel flying typing gives it key immunities, as well as resistances, leaving its only weaknesses being fire and electric. And even then, you'd have to you opt for more going on the special side if you want to kill it, because that's what its weak point is. But anyway, it eats up pretty much any physical hit, even some super effective ones. As you'll see, I'll go over some of like the calcs I was doing for some of my guys, as you can see up on top. But usually I don't see him running anything other than a physical wall. Probably leftovers on it. I'll be scared if he decides to run like Shed Shell. That one. That's the item. Because I do have Magnapole on the Magnezone, and Magnezone is my guaranteed way of trapping and killing it. So, if I play around there, hopefully he doesn't have that, so I can just fire off Thunderbolts willy-nilly and get him. Chansey, on the other hand, is the complete opposite, having a phenomenal HP stat of base 250, I believe, and a fairly decent special defense of, I believe, 105, base 105. Physical defense is a base 5, though, so he can't really take physical hits. Luckily, Chansey has that massive HP bulk, so even physical hits some can be taken. Chansey's very bulky, most of it because of the fact that since it can evolve, it can hold Eviolite, which improves both his defenses by 50%. This is a stall monster, and I hate it. Basically, from what I've seen fighting him, as well as seeing some other battles that he's done with people I know, it's basically, okay, he analyzes what he's looking at. Oh, is that thing going to hit me physically? I'm going to switch in Skarmory. If it's going to hit me specially, I'm going to have Chansey in there. And he's probably going to try to pull something like that over and over again until I run out of moves or I drop dead. Anyway, things usually running like Soft Boiled, Aromatherapy, Seismic Toss for guaranteed damage, Toxic probably. So it's just stall. It's just stall. Other than that, he's got the Mega Glalie. Now he could go physical or he could go special with this. I have no idea. I'm pretty much guaranteed it's going to be max speed. A base 100 does clear a lot of aspects of my team. The only thing that runs it on my team is Nihilego, so I'm going to need him for that. His Metagross can pretty much take some hits. I know if he runs a physical, he'll probably run Earthquake on it. And that could be an issue, but Metagross is bulky enough that he can take one Earthquake guaranteed. I believe even if it's a crit. I believe it does about 45 to 55% on a regular hit, so I think he can live crit. He should. But other than that, it does have the refrigerate ability, so any normal moves like Double Edge or Return do get turned into ice moves with boosted power. So that gives it a lot. That gives it heavy wall breaking potential. Other than that, special-wise, he could run Blizzard, Ice Beam, Freeze Dry, all that stuff. He knows I have a Gastrodon, so he could bring it, run Freeze Dry on it in hopes to get that, catch Gastrodon off guard. But anyway, he recently traded for a Gastrodon of his own, and I'm pretty familiar with this mon. Storm Drain, so you have a water immunity, decent bulk all around, gets access to Recover, Scald, Earthquake, Toxic, stuff like that. I've seen him run Rindo Berry on it. I believe this is the berry that weakens grass moves. I've seen him run that, and I've also seen Leftovers. So I don't have much grass offense, so I don't know if he's going to run the berry. So hopefully we'll we'll see what goes on there. I am packing a little surprise for that, just in case anyway. After that, he's got Tentacruel. Now, Tentacruel is usually really good for its special bulk. It's got base 120 special bulk. That gives it better bulk than Chansey without the Eviolite in terms of special defense. The better, decent HP at base 80, 65 base defense, so it's okay. It doesn't really want to take a hit on the physical side, but it can. Water Poison is a really good typing for it as well, giving it only, I believe, 3 weaknesses in Electric, Ground, and Psychic. Other than that, it sits at a really good speed tier, base 100, so it's actually pretty fast, and that lets it outspeed, like I said, again, everyone on my team except for Nihilego, which could prove an issue. From what I've seen, he tends to scarf it, so it literally outspeeds everything. And the 2 battles I've watched of him using this thing, it has been scarfed. And 1 match, it got 5 kills on its own. So pretty powerful mon. Sylveon's another specially bulky Pokemon with, I believe it's base 130 special defense, something like that. It's rather slow at base 60 speed, but it does get Pixelate, so it can turn moves like Hyper Beam and Hyper Voice into fairy types to get some added power. So Calm Mindsets aren't entirely out of the question. Or Choice Spec sets as well if you wanted to run it offensively. I know the one thing, because of rules we have in our league in the PAL, he cannot use Hyper Voice because we only are allowing Pokemon that can be obtained in Sun and Moon, and they can only learn moves that they could get in Sun and Moon. So transfer moves like move tutor moves from Oras, we don't allow them. I wish they did, because then my Stoutland would be crazy, but we don't allow them. All right, after that, he's got the Palisam, that new Ghost Ground type. Pretty good base defense, base 110. And the ability is pretty cool, where if you get hits by a water attack, its defense goes up, gets doubled. I don't know. I mean, I tried using one when after I mean the game, it was one of the first guys I competitively bred, but I didn't like it too much. I'm curious to see if he'll bring it against me, because I do have a few. I mean, as you can see, the 6 guys I'm bringing, 3 of them are weak to ground as it is. So Palisam pretty much counters Metagross pretty well with its natural bulk, and bolt stabs being super effective against me. So that wouldn't be a bad thing to bring. Savali is the wild card here, mostly because I had no idea how he's going to run it. Because with base 95 stats across the board. It can be any type. He could, I could see fighting. I could see fire. I could see, ghost. I could see normal with a choice scarf or something like that. And then it could be physical. It could be special. I have no idea what to expect from this thing, and it's pretty crazy. Whatever he brings as this type is going to be crucial to how I play the match. But that's something like I can't really prep for. That's something I'm going to have to deal with on the fly, and that could prove to be an issue for me. And last but not least, he does have that Alolan Muck, which is Muck got a great buff in this gen, becoming a Poison Dark type, giving it only 1 weakness in ground, and it's got the natural bulk. It just doesn't die. And then having, stab and both knockoff and poison jab, it's just so annoying. And with all the fairies that came out in this gen and everything, and how powerful fairies are, having something like Muck is just great. But I don't know if he'll run Gluttony with like a berry or Poison Touch to guarantee like poison on like if he goes for a poison jab or something like that. But I'll probably see like Poison Jab, Knockoff, Shadow Sneak, maybe Brick Break in that last slot or something like that. Something just a coverage option. Other than that, it's going to be something I have to deal with. I think Garchomp was my way to deal with that, but it is what it is. Anyway, so that's his team. I'm probably expecting him to bring. I'm going to say he's going to bring Skarmory, Chansey, Mega Glalie, Tentacruel, Gastrodon, and probably I don't see Savali coming. I say it's either Muck or Sylveon. leaning more towards the Muck, but it's going to be either Muck or Sylveon, because, I mean, he could bring Sylveon just to handle, like, Garchomp, but then I have three guys that I picked right off the bat here that do massive damage to Sylveon. Sylveon can't really hit them with its stab. So, I don't know. Anyway, let's get into my team that we are bringing this week, and I am super excited for this. So, right off the bat, we do have Professor Port, my Stoutland. I did decide to run Intimidate this week in case he does bring the Muck or the Glalie, because I could switch in on that, weaken it, as whatnot. It is Choice Banded with Return, Crunch, Fire Fang, and Wild Charge. Now, this is where I was talking about, like, the calcs and everything. Skarmory is so bulky that a Choice Banded Wild Charge from this Stoutland, at most, does 60%. Which is perfectly fine, because at that point, it puts me in a position where I outspeed him unless he's running speed investment on his Skarmory, which would mean he's not running bulk, which makes it easier for me. But I do more damage than he can possibly heal with Roost, so he'll be forced to either the pretty much hard switch there. I mean, if he brings Gastrodon or Palossand, that's an easy switch there, and then I will be forced to switch, do a switch of my own. But it is what it is. Hopefully, he won't realize I'm banded until it's too late. But that's basically his role, is to scare him into thinking a return is coming, and then hit him with that Choice Banded Wild Charge on the switch, which would be a fantastic play, and I hope things work out. All right, so anyway, after that, we have Daniel Bryan, the Mega Garchomp. I'm actually doing a specific spread here. I got that Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Flamethrower, Iron Head. As you can see from the top, I'm doing max attack with a Lonely Nature, so my special attack doesn't get dropped. And I figure he's got a lot of special threats rather than physical threats, barring whatever this Savali wants to do. So I figured if any stat's going to go down, I say defense. It's fair. Anyway, so he's got max 252 EVs dumped into attack with, I believe, 92 EVs into his speed, which gives him, this is a very specific scenario, it gives him just enough speed so he outpaces a max speed timid Sylveon. And at that point, he can OHKO it with Iron Head. The rest of them are dumped into its HP bulk for, bulk. Anyway, we got the Dragon Claw for, reliable stab. He does have a Fairy, and possibly two if he runs Sylveon with the Fairy Drive. So, or Fairy Memory. Sorry, I'm thinking of Genesect. So Dragon Claw allows me to have a decent powered stab move that won't lock me in. That's another thing. My first matchup against him, I lost my Mega Garchomp because I clicked Outrage facing his Chansey. He switched into Skarmory. Skarmory got taken down by, and then me being locked in the Outrage, he just brought in Glalie, and Glalie outsped and killed me from there. Anyway, I do have Earthquake at that point. Earthquake's going to hit that Tentacruel super effectively. It's also going to hit the Muck super effectively, and it's also going to be actually my strongest stab move in case I'm fighting something like Chansey. So, again, Dragon Claw probably wasn't even needed. Who cares? Flamethrower, and I love this because I Flamethrower because I am Mega Garchomp using Flamethrower with a neutral nature based on the neutral nature for the stat does about 60-something% to Skarmory, which is what I need. I need him to not expect the Flamethrower, or at least think, it's not gonna do. He can't do much to me. He's probably gonna switch here and set up rocks or something, or maybe try to go for a Whirlwind again. In which case, I slam that Flamethrower right into him. But so that's that, and then the Iron Head is, like I said, for the Sylveon. Very specific scenario. If it comes one-on-one at that point, he's gonna expect that he could probably kill me, in which case I respond with I outspeed him in Iron Head. Normally I run my Chomp more towards the bulky side because I'd rather it be bulky. There's a lot of things it doesn't outrun in this league. Specifically, I've had certain matchups where he just loses. Other Garchomps, for instance, he needs that bulk so that even if they, there's a Garchomp in front of him that outrages, as long as it isn't like Choice Banded, it gets the kill. Anyway, after that, we do have Oz, the great and powerful Metagross, rocking that Bullet Punch, Hammer-On, Meteor Mash, and Earthquake. He is max HP, max physical attack with the Assault Vest for maximum bulk. He's going to be my guaranteed switch into like Sylveon or Tentacruel, because there is literally nothing either of those can do to him outside of like Hidden Power. And then you can threaten them both with Earthquake and Meteor Mash, respectively. I think I said that right. Yeah. Earthquake for the Tentacruel, Meteor Mash for the Sylveon. Glalie also is threatened by the Meteor Mash because Glalie cannot, in one shot with an Earthquake, kill a Metagross. Skarmory pretty much walls him. There's nothing I can do about that. I can do hammer him for neutral damage, but it's not worth it. I think his biggest use, if my plan goes off, is going to be just to check if the Skarmory is going to have leftovers or not. So, I mean, that's his use there. Bull Punch could give me priority options in case I just need to get, if I know I'm not going to live a hit and just need to get off damage quick. And he has no other uses. Hammer Arm is going to be for the Chansey if that matchup ends up happening. It also deals decent damage to the Muck. And depending on what Savali he runs. If he brings Palossand, then he might expect it and switch into there to get a free switch. In which case that is problematic for me, because my team does not handle Palossand very well. Meteor Mash is, big stab power. Hopefully get attack boost, and I can spam boosted Bullet Punch at that point. And then Earthquakes to handle Muck or Tentacruel in case that either of them decide to stay in on me for some reason. Muck I can understand, maybe thinking it could take a hit, which it probably could from an Earthquake. And then respond with Knockoff to cripple me pretty much. But Tentacruel doesn't want to stay in on me at all. The most it could do is scald me and hope for a burn. Otherwise I'm immune to Sludge Wave, and most of his coverage moves don't do anything to me outside of Hidden Power. So, that is that. After that, I got Peeves, my Sableye that I just hatched. Anyway, he's running Recover, Taunt, Knockoff, and Will-O-Wisp. Pretty standard for Prankster. Recovers, keep himself alive. Taunt is so that if he comes to fight like the Gastrodon or the Chansey or the Skarmory, he can prevent them from doing anything but trying to hit him. Chansey in particular is in a bit of a pickle because unless it's running Thunderbolt as its attacking move, after being taunted, it literally can't touch him. Sableye is immune to Psychic, and Sableye is also immune to Seismic Toss, which I've seen him run both of those in the past. Knockoff is key as my only attacking move. It is Stab. Sableye is not very powerful, but Knockoff is needed because if I can get that Eviolite off that Chansey, then the rest of my team is going to have a much better time dealing with it. Will-O-Wisp is also going to be used to whittle down pretty much anyone on his team. The only one this won't affect is Muck because he is a Dark type and thus immune to Prankster. If he runs a Dark type Savali as well, that could also be an issue. But he's max HP, max special defense with the 4 points in regular defense. He does have a Lumberry because if Chansey is on the field, I'm going to Peeves here is my switch in the Chansey. Now this is a one-time thing. The Lumberry is going to prevent him from predicting my switch and going straight for the Toxic, and preventing Peeves from being put on a timer, because that could very much cripple him and cost me the match. Prankster's the standard ability. There's really nothing special about him. He's depending on what he brings, this guy might be my lead for the match. I'm probably just going to click Will-O-Wisp right off the bat unless he has Muck, in which case, I don't know, maybe Knockoff would be the play. It depends who he goes up against, who he sends up against me. But hopefully things work out in his end. Anyway, after that, we have the man of the hour, Bill Nye, the Science Magnezone, rocking that Thunderbolt, Magnet Rise, Flash Cannon, and HP Grass. That is a HP Grass. He has Magnet Pull to trap the Skarmory, and he's also holding a Shuka Berry, and I will explain everything right now. He has max HP, max special attack, modest nature, so standard what you would see for maybe like a Choice Specs build, or for something you're just going for bulk rather than speed. Thunderbolt and Flash Cannon for stab damage. Thunderbolt's going to hit the Tentacruel, potentially whatever Savali he brings, as well as the Skarmory super effectively. Flash Cannon is going to hit the Glalie and the Sylveon super effectively, and then also, again, depending on Savali. Savali's a wild card, like I said. Hidden Power Grass is specifically for the Gastrodon, because I do not have grass coverage, therefore Hidden Power Grass is my only way to hit that thing super effectively. And Magnet Rise, I kind of planned out to a degree how I think the turn should go. And in my mind, I kind of sat there and went, okay, I'm going to lead Sableye. From what I've seen, he's led Tentacruel if he brings it. So if he does that, I've seen he sometimes runs Dazzling Gleam on it. He could do that if he, without an Expert Belt or a Choice Specs or Life Orb or anything boosting his damage, a Dazzling Gleam is a 3-hit kill on Sableye at most. So I'm safe to fire off Will-O-Wisp there. At that point, if he's Scarfed, I could switch into Metagross, forcing him to do very low damage with another Dazzling Gleam if he decides to stay in. And then I could fire off a probably a Meteor Mash, expecting him to switch into Skarmory to check if it has lefties. If it does, switch a Magnezone, knock down Skarmory to its... depending on how much damage Meteor Mash does, I could potentially kill it right there, or knock it down to its... knock it down to sturdy. And then he would probably either try to whirlwind me out after that. But if ever this Magnezone's set up to kill Skarmory, Gastrodon, and Glalie in succession if he brings them. Because Sugar Berry makes Earthquake not be an OHKO on me at any point. Because even Gastrodon with no attack investment and a nature reducing attack still has a 25% chance to OHKO me with an Earthquake, because it's just that detrimental to Magnezone. Glalie destroys me with an Earthquake because it's so powerful. Skarmory can't do anything to me, but say I kill Skarmory. His next optimal switch in would be Gastrodon. I'm not Choice Spectre or anything, so I'm not locked into Thunderbolt. At that point, I hit Magnet Rise. I'm now immune to Earthquakes, and he'll be forced to either Scald me if he has that, which I would assume he would have, because, I mean, it's like the best move for him. And, yeah. I'm faster, unless he's running max speed Gastrodon, which would be strange, but you never know in League play. So I get the Magnet Rise off. He'd be forced to think about his life choices. I can hit him with that HP Grass. If he's not running a Rindo Berry, that's a 2-hit kill. I think even with the Rindo Berry, it's 2-hit kill because without it, it does this. Is this try? 94% at most. I was like, really? Without Choice Specs, it can't OHKO him with the HP Grass, but whatever. And then say Glalie comes in. At some point, Glalie's in, and Magnezone comes out. I can't exactly Magnet Rise, but I can live one Earthquake as long as I have at least 60% health because of Sugar Berry. So that prevents me from being destroyed by say I get a low roll on an attack or something like that. But it could prove clutch. I have to be able to use it effectively, but Magnet Rise on Magnezone could work in this situation. I can't wait to try it. Normally I just go attack, use like Volt Switch and like HP Ice or HP Fire or something like that. But you know what? We're going to try Magnet Rise for this, because I think that's the only way he's going to be able to do what he needs to do. And last but not least, we have Squishy the Nihilego running that Power Gem, Thunderbolt, Sludge Wave, and Acid Spray with Black Sludge. Max speed, max special attack with a timid nature, 4 points in HP. Power Gem is to hit the Glalie super effectively, as well as do neutral damage to Skarmory on a potential switch. Pretty much neutral to everyone except for Palossand, specific Savali's, or Gastrodon. Everyone else is gonna get hit neutrally by that. Decent damage. Thunderbolt super effective damage for the Skarmory and the Tentacruel. Gastrodon and Palossand kind of ruined that, but whatever. Sludge Waves to just have a powerful stab move. Depending on what Savali he brings, that could hit that super effectively. It's good for the Sylveon as well, and it's just his strongest stab move. And then Acid Spray. Specifically, I want Squishy, if it comes down to it, to be my one-on-one to end the match against Chansey. If that's a situation where Chansey's the only one left and Squishy has to fight Chansey, I have this thing set up because of Black Sludge. Even if it has seismic toss, Chansey's needs 5 seismic tosses to kill Squishy here because of recovery. In which case, I can set up 3 acid sprays on it, reducing its special defense to -6, which then allows me to get a 2-hit kill with Sludge Wave. Ideal situation. It's probably not going to work out like I planned because best laid plans of mice and men and all that. But here's hoping. I really have to pull this together. Anyway, I think that's about it for this team building video. I'm running a bit long on the clock there. But anyway, so if you guys enjoyed this battle, please leave a like down below. Support is greatly appreciated. And if you enjoy this and you want to see more PAL team builders and PAL battles in the future, please hit the subscribe button as well so you'll be alerted to whenever I put something up. Anyway, so I'm going to head out of here, guys. Hope you all have a nice day. And I'm RussianCarl. See ya.